Hey everyone, this is Krusty the Sailor. Finally did it. I finally pulled the trigger. I got a GTX 1070 Ti. I finally got into that upper echelon of graphics cards. Um, wow. I mean, that's the least I could say. Coming from where I've come from, always having those mid-tier $250 and under video cards, stepping it up made a huge difference. And as I predicted in my previous video, which I will link in the description below, Ryzen versus Squad, I predicted that if I got a GTX 1070, all my woes would be cured. And I just didn't understand completely what I was saying, because I thought, hey, yeah, mostly high settings, blah blah blah, 60 frames a second, and see the limit of the Ryzen processor at that point. I was partially right, partially wrong. Partially right by saying 60 frames a second, partially wrong on saying seeing the limits of the Ryzen processor, and partially wrong on mostly high settings, because this thing is maxed out. And I've even put resolution scaling up, which, if you don't understand what that is, it's basically you're rendering more resolution than what your monitor displays. So you get details further out. So I'm running it 1.5 times because I can do 1.75, I can do 2, but it doesn't, I get hiccups and micro stutter, and I could probably lower some of the other settings to make up for that, but I don't feel a need to do that because I forgot how pretty Squad is, and I'm not all that big of a graphical guy. I mean, yeah, it's great if the game looks good, but it's not the most important thing to me. I play Squad for the gameplay, not the graphics. But anyway, I digress. And as of seeing the limits of the Ryzen, getting more potential out of the Ryzen, I'm not hardly pushing it. It's still the same, very little CPU usage and a lot of GPU, which a lot of people say, this is a processor and, heavy game, which it is. It is. But at the same time, it's made a world of difference. I was able to stream, record, at fairly high settings record, not the highest. As you can see from the video quality, it's really not that shabby, you know. And I haven't tweaked it with it yet. I haven't played with OBS as far as I should have, because I just got this card like, 4 days ago. 3 days ago. I'm sorry, 3 days ago. And yeah, by the time this video uploads, yeah, it'll be 3 days. Anyway, yeah, I haven't had time to tweak it, overclock it. Haven't touched it in that aspect. People here, you see people on YouTube, and, Jay's 2 Cents and Gamer Meld and a bunch of other guys. They talk about overclocking, hardware unboxed. Overclocking the 1070 Ti, you get really close to 1080 performance. Why? I don't see a need for it. Every game I throw at this thing, 60 frames a second. Now, if I was running 144 hertz or 1440p monitor, yeah, absolutely, I'd overclock it. But I'm not as of right now. I just don't have that kind of money laying around to go out and buy a 1440p monitor right after buying this thing. It's going to take me a while to save my pennies to get one of those. So I'm absolutely, utterly impressed. And I know there's a lot of people that still put their nose up to Ryzen and go, hey, AMD, blah, 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 they're no good, they're no good. Well, they're wrong. I'm just going to say that they're absolutely wrong. I'm going to stand behind what I said in my first video. Ryzen, AMD is back. They are making a comeback. And they're making an excellent product. You know, despite what the stock market says, despite what everything is, they're making a great product. It works. Hands down, especially in a game that's not even remotely close to optimized for it. Like, the devs, as far as I'm concerned, OWI, still doesn't have a Ryzen machine. I mean, I saw some talk of it on the forums, but, I mean, if anyone here wants to correct me, feel free. Okay, just hit me in the comments, let me know if I'm wrong. I'd really like to know if they are using AMD in part of the development. Um, but, you know, for the most part, Unreal Engine is all about that Intel and NVIDIA as well. Yeah, I could have probably gotten a Vega, but the performance to the price ratio wasn't as good as the 1070 Ti. Why would I pay 1080 price for a card that only performs as well as a 1070 Ti? It doesn't make any sense. Plus, NVIDIA has way more gaming support from the community. You know, their drivers are better optimized, their cards are better made, dare I say. They age fairly well. I mean, there's probably still a lot of people out there, you know, including you fine folks, who might still use a 9 series. You know, 960, 970, 980. Maybe the rare 980 Ti's, 970 Ti's. But, you know, I'm trying to think of a way to say this without sounding like a complete jerk. AMD makes a great mid-line card. You want to spend less than 250 bucks? Normally, I'm saying normally because the mining thing is a nightmare, but normally if you want to spend less than $250, you can't go wrong with the RX 580. It's a great card. It is. There's no doubt about it. It plays most AAA titles, 1080p, 60 frames a second, on high, mostly, sometimes ultra settings. Not all the time, but as long as the game's optimized. My RX 480, my RX 470, derp. Anyway, it ran Destiny 2, which just came out, you know, last month, just fine. 60 frames a second, 1080p, mostly high. I think I had one or two settings on medium. I don't remember what they were. I haven't played it in a while. But yeah, the 470 ran it without a hitch. Battlefield 1, no problem. No problem at all. Call of Duty, World War II, I actually installed the beta. I gave it a shot. I'm never going to probably ever buy it, but I wanted to see what it was about, you know, see if it was any different. It ran it perfectly fine. No hitch, no problem. You know, GTA 5, 55, 50s, sometimes 60. You know, mostly high settings. Some medium, shadows turned down a little bit because the RX 4 series wasn't the best at shaders. But, you know, for what I paid for the card, I think I paid $135, $140 for it. You know, I couldn't complain. It played most latest games. You know, it was a good card. But this 1070 Ti, everything you throw at it, just flawless. No stuttering, absolutely perfect. So yeah, it's awesome. And again, props to AMD. You know, I've finally gotten rid of the bottleneck on the GPU side. And the CPU performs perfect. There's not a problem with it as of right now. I mean, there's nothing wrong. And, you know, I'm still getting my amazing multi-core performance when I'm editing videos. I'm getting that performance when I need it. You know, that's what I do. I play games, I record videos, and I upload them to YouTube so you fine people can see it. But no problem. I feel very satisfied with my purchase. You know, I spent you know, let's say $200 on the processor, and it's incredible. I don't want to talk about RAM because the pricing still pisses me off, and a lot of people. RAM has doubled since this time last year, and it's ridiculous. And I just bought a NVMe SSD. I got a pretty decent deal in my opinion, 256 gigs for $100. The performance on that is awesome too. I mean, it's marginally better than an SSD, I will say that, but it's nothing to scream about. But I figured, hey, if I'm going to get another SSD, I might as well get something that's better. Why step laterally when you can get better for the same price, you know? So that's why I went with that. By the way, for those of you curious, it's a Western Digital black NVMe M.2. It's a great little chip. I love it. You know, I can't say I couldn't live without it because my SSD works great. I have a Samsung 750 Evo. But anyway, I'm gonna stop talking, stop yapping, flapping my trap, you know, all those wonderful things. Let y'all enjoy this video. You know, there's a couple cool moments here. I'll start skipping around on it to the action so y'all can see the cool moments from Operation Arrowhead. And like I said, you know, if y'all want to talk about this, hey, comment below. Give me a like, give me a dislike, you know, if you hated it. I don't know why you would, but you know, subscribe, come see me, watch all my stuff, please. The progression that I've made. I mean, you look at my older videos, like one of my first videos, I was still running the FX 6300 6-core processor, you know, way last gen, you know. I bought that chip when the 8320 and 8350 were still prevalent, and I wanted to save money. I think I paid $80 for that processor. And I had the R9390, which I still... I'm sorry, R9380. I just looked at the boxes. I'm still over my shelf. I keep everything. The R9380, I love that card. The looks of it was great for the time, and then I upgraded but the RX 470, great, and now my MSI Titanium GTX 1070 Ti. It's a mouthful, but it's an awesome card. Awesome card. Alright, you folks enjoy this video, and I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, as soon as I can get the idea, we'll start
Alright guys, so we're gonna move in from the east of Stephanie. Cody, I need a confirmation on if it's at Stephanie or Village where you are. MTLB, you're gonna move through the northeast part of Stephanie, that field.
I don't see anything built either Stephanie or Village. They're making it awfully hard to identify where the hell they put their bomb.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I don't even see enemy activity in fucking Stephanie. This is...
Right.
The 5 boats still here. Or move up.
I also don't see any enemies moving around Village. Which means we've, I don't know, maybe they just build anything in storage? Cause I can...
Did we miss them?
Possible, but unlikely. I'm beginning to question whether they actually even exist.
They're still at main. Okay,
Hey,
so
3, be advised, my squad's gonna be watching east or west.
from the northeast, that little like tail of a road, we're gonna come in from there. There's a gulch we can use. 4, you're gonna mount back up. You're gonna move in from the west southwestern village using the riverbank with MTL support. Pony, get the remainder of your squad with me. We're gonna start moving north from there. Yeah.
Copy.
Alright, give me a grid where you want me to go, squad.
There's like a gulch thing on like J423. area. It's not marked on the map. You'll see it. It's like a big ditch. You can park your transport in it, and you can move into a village from the northeast, where you're gonna need money to support you from the south.
Copy that.
It's hull down. It's got sandbags in front of it also, I believe.
Stay out of the mortars.
Alright guys, let's continue the plan. We need to get an assault going on village. Is there any viable way to get up north of village?
We lost a guy.
Yeah, just proceed north. Across the road and proceed north. Coming up north here where I am is there's no infantry up here as of yet.
Alright, oh my god.
Rear rivet. That means that
Is that right?
We're gonna move to the other BTR.
We're on fucking Pirates of the Caribbean right now.
Alright, so here's the plan. We're gonna assault from the north while 4 pushes in from the south. Copy?
Copy.
Come on guys, давай. Stop that.
BTR needs some support here. BTR needs some support here. Coming around.
Careful, Krusty, they're mortaring. They're trying to mortar us. Yeah, mortaring the tree line toward direct south.
Alright, dismount.
Rock and roll.
Start pushing. Push on village. Destroy them. All of them.
Alpha on me.
Where are you?
Push east, and we're gonna push directly onto village. Copy? Follow this tree line.
East and cover.
Watch for mortars. Keep pushing. Don't stop, whatever you do.
Red smoke out for marking. Take a shot.
Come on, guys. Let's not get hold of you. Let's push.
Red smoke in you.
Smoke it out if you have to.
Red
pushing.
Red smoke is in the infantry.
I'm gonna keep going up. Right up down there to our.
Keep pushing, boys.
Team lead is down.
Want me to get down the hill a little bit?
Push. Get in this. Start clearing it out. I got enemy contact to the east.
We good, Matrix? Grenade!
Alright, boys, come on, keep pushing. Hey, Remick, you still up?
Matrix is to the right. Come on.
Hey, lad, I got a target for you. Come here. Alright, guys, we gotta keep pushing. We can't get hold up here.
50's down.
Come on, keep pushing, guys. Keep pushing. Clear it out, clear it out, clear it out. Smoke to get across this road.
You got a smoke, Matrix?
Yeah, I got it.
Smoke in space.
Hey, Pony,
Yeah.
this dish goes down over here. Hey, right behind this brick wall, right to our south. Right to our south. There's a guy behind this brick wall.
Towards
Across the
left
street.
here.
Just peek his head up a second. Alright, guys, keep doing.
Contact southeast, contact southeast.
Got him.
Behind the road.
Alright, guys, smoke this road out. Let's get forward.
We're pushing, Matrix?
Let the smoke go first.
Yeah, I know. Just excited.
As soon as it's smoked up, I'm gonna sprint you cover me.
Alright, guys, can I get a count? Who's up? Who's up?
Matrix up.
Matrix and Afro
I'm
are
up.
still up.
Alright.
Alright, about 5 seconds, I'm crossing.
Alright, guys, talk to me. What do we got here?
Alright, here I go.
Alright, so both BTRs have been hit heavy.
Left
Copy.
side.
Pull him back. Pull him back. Use distance.
Watch out.
Alright, guys, let's get across the street.
Matrix, very good.
Yellow building across the street has enemies. I'm putting a frag round in it.
Matrix down.
This is Command Dorsey taking over as Squad 6.
Drop shit at us. He's down, trusty.
Yeah, Squad 3, we got enemies across the street from us.
Yellow building.
To our
southeast.
south.
Let's get in here and clear this shit out. Start moving east.
Yeah, techie, north side.
We lost our squad lead. I think it's just you and me, medic.
This is really nice. This is really nice. Spread the fuck out. I'm loving this. Yeah, we gotta let us spread out.
Here we go. Needing myself.
Oh, oh, oh my god! Oh my god! Wow, that was great. Good job, Panda. A little bit of crouch action there. Yeah. Okay, that's just mean.
That was ridiculous.
He thought he was a medic, and I'm like, oh my god, why is he running away? He's gonna get shot. And then boom.
That was a fun match.
Off of it. Yeah. It moved through the town north, probably circled back around.
Beautiful. Got it. Copy. There's one at the bottom. Got it. I cleared him. They're clear.